Welcome to Sambhashana. I'm so glad to be back with another amazing and inspiring conversation with the Chainmaker series. Every fortnight, we will be talking to people from all walks of life who have dusted themselves from their comfort zone and moved mountains to be where they are. I would like to introduce one such personality who calls herself as a mature artist who has built an artistic community for the differently able artists called Team Pragati in 2021, which hosts an annual event called Art from the Art. Last year, Art from the Heart exhibition displayed over 150 paintings, 25 artists for 2 days consecutively, which had 300 plus visitors. 50 plus paintings were also sold. That's an amazing feat. In October 29, Shravani was recognized as one of Asia's Women of Substance by Ladies Circle. In November 2019, she was awarded the I Inspire Award by Tattva Foundation. She was also featured in Achievers 2021 calendar, an initiative by Invoke Foundation. Shravani is an MBA in human resource with over 10 plus years of corporate work experience and currently working with Infosys and the lead VDHR. I am so privileged to have Shravani, the brainchild of Dean Pragati on Sambhashana, a very warm welcome to you and thank you for accepting my invitation to be a part of this Chain Makers, to share your amazing journey. When I met you, I was really inspired. And I wanted to say thank you so much for selflessly giving me this calendar. I haven't, actually, I go all out and tell people when I receive something, but this is such an amazing gift. I still have this on my desk. I just thought I'll make a shout out and say thanks to you.
Thank you, Nilima. Thank you so much, and I'm really happy to be here. First of all, kudos on this initiative. It's great to know the many others, who are being the change makers without waiting for the society or the community to bring about a change. They're being the change makers themselves. So I think it's a great feat what you're working on. So kudos on that, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Thank you for saying such nice thing. And let us take a glance of the interesting work that you've been doing and along with your team. Shravani, now can you just tell me the initiative that you have been doing, the Team Pragati? Can you just give a little background about it? How did you initiate this and what was the journey like?
Well, Nilima, let me start by giving you a little background, right? No, so I met with the accident in 2011, right? That was when I was of course on the bed for quite some time, and before my accident, and during my college and school days, I used to sketch a little, right? But then of course the MBA and eventual corporate life didn't really give me the time to pursue this hobby. But then I had all the world's time, right? I wanted to kind of make use of the time, so I started with sketching and started doing that on a regular basis. And as I got better, I started working on a few other media as well. And I got lucky, right, that I got the opportunity of displaying my work at the Chitra Sante, which is the annual art exhibition conducted by
Yes.
Chitrakala Parishad.
Yeah.
That was just to be amidst all that color was a very positive experience that only kind of got me to work on getting better at my art. So I was of course working on that very consciously, exploring many media, and I did that for about 3 years, right? I think the third year during the exhibition, I happened to meet a couple of other artists, right? One of them was someone with Down syndrome, right? But had painted beautiful landscape. And another lady was someone with speech and hearing impairment, right? But then again, she had painted some beautiful works, right? And that kind of triggered a thought. And the next year again, I happened to meet a few more artists, right? Who were of course in a different label, but had chosen art as their medium of expression. One of the artists was someone from Kerala who used to paint with her mouth. She was doing live painting, which was absolutely brilliant. See, for me to paint is a different thing. My arms are intact, right? My eyesight is intact, and it's thankfully my brain is more or less intact, so it is all okay that I'm able to manage, right? But for someone with Down syndrome, right, someone with no movement of the arms to paint with their mouth is something incredible. And that kind of gave me the thought of maybe considering working on a platform. But the actual trigger came when I had joined this Rotary Abilities Club, the first of its kind club wherein all members were members with varied disabilities. There I happened to meet one lady. She's someone with visual impairment, and she's visually impaired by birth. It's not like over a period, she lost her vision, right? At least that was the case. She would have known what colors were. And she's been visually impaired by birth, and she has painted. When she
Wow.
told me about it, was too hard for me to believe. Believe it or not, it's not like I wanted some validation, but I just wanted to see the work. So I reached out to her family, and they shared the pictures of her artwork, and I was really, really blown away. I mean, for me
Wow.
to paint is a different thing, but for someone with visual impairment, to paint is something exceptional, right? And I wanted to show that exceptional
Yes.
talent to the world, and that is how the idea came. But this was, of course, back a few years ago. This was through the Abilities Club, considering the nature of the club. We started this. I We went with the name Canvas. The emphasis being on can, saying we can do it. Given the
Wow.
determination. So that is how we started. But then, of course, I got out of Rotary Club, owing to a lot of reasons. My work timings were not really, matching with their meeting timings. So I got out of it, and because I was already in touch with many other artists, I really wanted to kind of, continue it. And considering my interest in art, I thought, no, I
Mhm.
ought to do it. And that is how, last year I started this, Team
Mhm.
Pragati. It's me and my sister and a few friends who are helping me, right? So the banner is Pragati. So last year, our first art initiative under Pragati banner was Art from the Heart, right? And this year again,
Mhm.
we're doing it. Of course, want to make it an annual event. Maybe reach out to more
Mhm.
artists from across the country. Hopefully, if we
Okay.
were to kind of get the right kind of sponsorship, we should be able to
Mhm.
provide for the accommodation and logistics as well. But yeah, that's of course a long-term goal. Let's see how it all. So last year we had four really good guests coming in. We had Radhika Hormuz, who happens to be the great granddaughter of Raja Ravi Verma and an artist herself. We had her coming there. We also had the speed painter Vilas Nayak coming there on the second day. We also had Saad Khan, the screenplay writer, the actor, and comedian. He was there as the guest, and we also had Shilpa Nag, the commissioner, right? So we had people from different domains, coming, and they were, of course, very motivated, and they also motivated the artists. So that was, of course, a very nice thing. So this year, as of now, I'm having two artists. One of them being very popular, Badal Nanjunda Swami, a visual artist, an extremely popular one, and is brilliant at his art. Right, many people would, of course, remember him for that huge portrait of Punit Rajkumar that he did recently. So he's agreed to be one of the guests, and we also have a senior artist, a cartoonist actually, Gujarappa. And he's also agreed to be the guest, and I, of course, requested him if he can maybe help us with a demo, right? It'll be great for the artist to see uh, him, show his forte. So I'm, of course, requested him for that, and he's agreed. So I think that'll be really nice. And we've also reached out to Madam Tejaswini Anantakumar, right? Who is so much into community service and a very popular figure in the circles, right? I reached out to her, and she, of course, very graciously agreed to be a part of this. So as of now, we are having these three guests. And of course, still I've reached out to a few others. Suppose I will be getting the confirmation from them over the next couple of days, but these are for sure. So I'm, of course, really, really looking forward to having them there.
Thank you so much for sharing this. It's such a what you say heart-touching incidences that you've said. Where a person who cannot visually see or anything and then go. When you were reaching out to all these people, Shravani, what was because at one side you are being challenged for whatever it is, and then you are facilitating a lot of things to Team Pragati. What is your thought process like when you meet these kind of people and who are one way or the other good at something or the other?
So that is exactly the thing, Nilima. So everyone is good at something, right? Now, this might be something that the India Influence Summit goes by, that everyone is good at something, right? It's about
Yes.
showcasing that to the bigger community. Not everyone is aware, right? Very frankly, before my accident, perhaps I too was not even aware. Once in a while you read something, that okay, fine, you just read it, and okay, you feel a little inspired, and that is it. And but now, because I'd gotten to meet these people, I really wanted to work on a platform wherein you can make them be seen and heard and appreciated and also encouraged. So that is the intent, right?
Yes.
So for
Mhm.
the Pragati thing, I go with the caption of looking beyond, right? And it's about looking beyond the actual the disabilities, and looking at the ability of the people. So when I'm talking to these people, I am only considering knowing more about their strengths. Everyone, of course, have their own strengths, their fortes. It's about trying to provide a platform for us to showcase that, let us recognize them for their strengths and what they can do, right? So that is the very intent of our initiative, Nilima.
With these initiatives, I'm sure there would have been, a lot of challenges. Would you like to share some of the challenges?
Fortunately for me, I haven't had that many challenges, and I wouldn't really say very significant challenges. Okay, when it comes to something like this, you would of course want to organize things on a bigger scale. There is of course the financial thing that is involved. You would want some sponsors. Haven't really got that kind of a backup, but fortunately, me and my network, like I said, my family and friends, and we've been able to manage. So for me, the only thing is, if we were to get a better sponsorship, we can only make the reach better, and we can provide for better visibility for all of these artists, which I think they rightfully deserve. So that perhaps is the only thing. And of course, running around's got to be done, and considering my mobility challenges, at times it poses to be a slight hindrance, but that's not been a showstopper at all. I've been able to, and thankfully, for the support of the family and friends, I've been able to go ahead with it, and I intend to also in the future.
This is such a motivating conversation. In spite of having so many challenges with your mobility, you beautifully put across saying that I don't have challenges. The way looking at life so positively, Shravani, I think I'm learning so much from, even being associated with you. And another thing is, during this journey or maybe in your life, or, accident, or from the team Pragati, or you meet so many artists. So I'm sure there are learnings from every person that you know. Are there any key learnings that which has inspired you and you would like to share that with us?
One thing, of course, like I said, was the lady with visual impairment. She was the one who prompted me to kind of really work on that, right? And of course, during the course, of course, with my affiliation with the others with disabilities started with rotary abilities, because prior to that, I was not even aware of many others who had a similar thing. So that was where it started, and after that, for the art exhibitions, I've gotten to meet many of the artists, and I see that there are many others. For some, see, there are a few, let's say, let me, without generalizing, let me just take the example of a couple of the speech and hearing impaired artists. For them, of course, their arms are intact, their eyes are intact, and they're able to kind of paint the picture that they really want to. Maybe when they were learning, it might have been a slight challenge, but otherwise they're able to. But no, there are a few people, a few artists, like there is RK is someone with cerebral palsy, right? No, and he paints with his feet, right? And there is Anu, Anu Jain. She is someone, she doesn't have arms below the elbow and legs below the knee, and she holds the brush like this and she paints. Right. Now, these are people who have not let their disability come in the way of their artistic pursuits, right? And when they, and that too, Anu and Ramakrishna, they paint on a regular basis, right? And RK, apparently someone once just kind of asked him, he primarily used to work on landscapes. So when someone asked him, why is it you work only on landscapes? He took it up as a challenge and he started working on portraits, right? It's about stepping out of that comfort zone. It might be a very simple thing, it might not seem to be too much of a significant thing for the others, but the challenge is the different thing altogether. It's about stepping out of that comfort zone. And Anu, she takes classes for other kids, right? No, considering her challenge, if she's taking online lessons, I mean, I thought that was just incredible. It's about primarily acknowledging the fact that all of us have challenges, but it's about not letting them come in the way of your pursuits, creative or otherwise, right? It's just about looking beyond and importantly stepping out of that comfort zone. So that is what is one big lesson that I learned from all these artists. And also maybe out of limitation comes creativity. So
Yes.
that perhaps is the biggest.
Yes, yes, yes. And there is your art exhibition, upcoming art exhibition, a couple of a week down. Would you like to share more details on how people can come and visit this your exhibition?
Yeah, so this is happening on the 25th and the 26th of March at the Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad. So the first exhibition, the response was so positive that all the artists were very much enthused, and we too were really kind of looking forward to. And of course, we started off with all of it, and so the dates are finalized. We have to kind of look into the availability of the hall and all of it. But Chitrakala Parishad is like an art haven, right? And for the artists to
Yes.
have Chitrakala Parishad on their profile is a big thing. So I'm doing it over there. So this time we're having a few more artists. We're having about 35 artists. Maybe might get a few more this time. Last year we had tied up with a couple of schools. One was Sense Kaleidoscope. They primarily work with kids with autism, and the small little school called Bala Vikas Kendra in Malaysia work with smaller kids. This time I'm tying up with Shrishti Special Academy. Again, they work with
Yes.
kids with some neuro diverse
Mhm.
issues. So uh, every year I just want to kind of work with a different group because there are quite a lot of them who are doing it. So this year again I have a few via viral marketing. The word has spread, and I have a few extra artists. A couple of them coming from Pune, one from Hyderabad, one from Chennai also coming, and a few. I mean, a few of them. One of them, in fact, I hadn't met her before. Also, right now, I just happened to see her artwork. Her mother had reached out to me, and I'm really looking forward to meeting her. The artwork is so beautiful. So, like that, like this one particular artist, there are a few other artists, and each of their works are really beautiful. And we don't have a theme. Maybe in a couple of years, we can, considering the fact that we want to make it an annual event, maybe in a couple of years, we can maybe give a theme and ask all the artists to work on that. But for now, I'm not giving any kind of a thing. I just want them to kind of go with that open thing, whatever comes to them, and what they've already worked on, they can just display that. So 35 plus artists on the 25th and 26th at the Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad. It's the Devraja's gallery. It's in the basement, near the office. So I would of course encourage everyone to come and
What
uh,
is the timing, Shravani?
uh, start at around 10:30.
Okay.
Ten
And
thirty.
if I have another question here for, if people are listening out and if they want to come and be a part of your exhibition, do you have any criteria or what is it like?
This artist is mainly for artists with disabilities,
Yeah,
right?
that you know.
That's
With
the only
with the
thing.
disability, do you have any age limit or something like
No,
that?
no,
Any
nothing as
criteria?
such. Nothing as
You
such.
know, yeah, because I'm aware of it, but then I thought for people who are
No.
listening, so anyone with disabilities and if they're ready to, do some magic with color, they can come and be a part of your
No, but
show.
now I've already kind of finalized because I need to kind of just about I have limited time, right? So I need to start off with the advertising campaign and all of
For
it.
the
So
next year,
no, no,
if
no,
they can.
no. For next year, yes, for sure, of course. But maybe
Yes.
they can still reach out to me, and
Mhm.
maybe we can maybe just see if I can accommodate them because last minute
Mhm.
there'll be a few dropouts, right? So you never know,
Yes.
but yeah, I just don't want to be like I don't want it to be. I, it's difficult to say a no, right? When it's
Yes,
towards
yes, yes.
towards the end, so that is a challenge. So.
I have a bigger question. How do you manage all this with your full-time job?
Well, for me, Nilima, just about making the time, and very frankly, in my uh, up until 6 months now, I used to work in the afternoon shifts, so I used to have the luxury of time in the morning. Right, so I used to, of course, make use of that. But now, of course, I moved to Infosys just about 6 months ago. So here, of course, I'm working in the morning shift. So the transition is just taking a little longer, but I need to figure out a way. So weekends, of course, I make use of my weekends, for this. Weekdays also, I need to figure out an alternate way of, making some time for all of this. But for me, art kind of, came to my rescue, right? No, it really, initially, it was just meant to be a distraction, right? From all the pain in the recovery days. And eventually, it went on to do a lot more than that. It helped me in unimaginable ways. And it perhaps, helped me bring color, into life, literally and otherwise, right? So I'm just wanting to capitalize on this opportunity and, do the best that I can. And also, help others who might have faced a similar plight like me. So,
Yeah. And would you like to, in the future, I'm kind of asking this as a seed or something. Are you having any plans to take this to other cities as well?
only recently someone was also proposing the idea, right? Shamini, thanks to
Mhm.
social media, the connect is a lot better. So why don't you consider the idea? So like, why
Mhm.
not? Right? And I don't want to say,
Mhm.
I don't want to have any kind of a blog, and I'm very much open to the idea. But I think here again, it's about building that team, right? Not the artists. I'm pretty sure we should be able to find some artists. It's just about finding a team of volunteers who can help us with this. Because considering my challenge is going to be a uh, quite a thing, for me to kind of go to different cities. Maybe I'll have to just tie up with, like-minded people, right? And work on the platform. But yes, the idea is over the years, long-term goal is to kind of, have a better reach for the artists from across the country. So if it means, not just restricting it to Bangalore and having it in other cities, why not?
Okay, so there is another requirement and a big shout out to volunteers as well from other cities.
Yes,
Okay. Now, is there anything else that we would like to add? If I missed out on any aspect or anything that you would like to share before I move on to the signature round?
Well, nothing as such, Nilima, but all I would ask is, ask of the people is if they were to be aware of, anyone, with a similar thing who they think, would be a good participant for our exhibition, please, let them reach out to me. It'll be really nice, of course, for me also to connect with these artists and, see, maybe if not for this year, next year, like I said, I want to make it an annual thing. So hopefully for next year, I should be able to kind of, work on that platform. It is viral marketing works best, right? And social media is
Yeah.
a very tool. So why not, make use of it? So I would, of course, ask everyone watching this to kind of, just keep an eye open, right? If you have to find anyone, right, who you think, would perhaps, be a good participant in our exhibition, please reach out to me, right? I'll be more than happy to connect with them and take things forward. So that is all.
Sure, sure. That definitely I will kind of put your coordinates at the end. And now coming to the last end, which I'm a little excited whenever I do this signature fast five round. So shall we start this, Shravani?
Sure.
Yeah, where I will be asking you random 5 questions, and where we kind of do it quickly. Yeah. The first one is, if you were to go on a road trip, who would that one person be?
My sister.
What do you do to motivate yourself?
Oh, well, I look out for people like the artists that I mentioned, and, of course, a lot of others. I just kind of look up to them and I feel, there is a gush of emotion and motivation that comes, when I reach out to these people.
A personality you admire?
In the personal circle, or
Whatever, it could be anywhere.
Muniba Mazari, the Pakistani artist and speaker.
Okay. Okay. The last movie you watched?
Oh, wow. It's been a while. Hang on. I used to be an avid movie watcher, but I'm not able to recall. This is the last one. I watched KGF too, but no, yeah, I think it was Kantara. I watched something else also after Kantara. Oh, I'm not able to recall. Let's take it as Kantara.
Okay. And if you want to thank 3 people in your life, who would that be?
Can you repeat that for me, Nilima?
If you would want to thank 3 people in your life, who would that be?
Thank 3 people.
Yes.
Of course, my mother and my sister and my father, of course.
All right, that's a big shout out to them. And we come to the end of the super inspiring and motivating conversation with Shravani. And I thank you very much for coming and sharing your journey and educating us about the initiatives like Art from the Art, what you're doing. And as I told you before I let you go, I would like you to share your contact details or your social handle so that I can put out.
Sure thing, Nilima. So I'll be available very much on the phone. I'm just a message or a call away, and my number is 99868 04014. I can just repeat that 99868 04014. And my email ID is P as in Peter, T as in Tango, PT Shravani, SRAVANI, PT Shravani at gmail.com. I am also there on Facebook as Sravani Ramachandran, right? And not very active on in the other media, although I'm looking to get more active. But yeah, these would be the ideal ways to connect.
Thank you so much once again, and a humble appeal to all. If you happen to just know someone, please spread this word around. You never know, this might impact or help someone out in life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nilima. Thank you so much.